Knowing is easy, doing is everything. Everybody knows what they should be doing, but very few people actually do it. And that's the difference between the ones who talk about success and the ones who live it. You can read every book, watch every video, attend every seminar. You can quote motivation all day long. But if you never apply it, you stay exactly where you are. Knowledge without action is like a car without fuel. It looks good, but it's not taking you anywhere. Life doesn't reward what you know, it rewards what you do. There's a dangerous comfort in knowing, because knowing gives the illusion of progress. You feel smart, you feel aware, but awareness without execution is just a fancy form of procrastination. You keep preparing, you keep planning, you keep waiting for the perfect time. That perfect time never comes, because the only perfect moment to start was always now. The difference between the person who changes their life and the one who stays stuck is simple. Decided to do it anyway, even when it wasn't perfect, even when it wasn't easy, even when no one clapped for them. If you keep collecting knowledge but never act, your dream will die in your mind before it ever breathes in the world. Action is the heartbeat of transformation. Movement creates clarity. Doing teaches more than thinking ever will. You can't figure everything out before you start, because some lessons can only be learned through movement, through trial, through error, through failing forward. That's how growth works. You can't wait to feel ready. You can't wait to be confident, because confidence comes from repetition, and repetition comes from doing. The reason people never move is because they're addicted to the feeling of potential. Potential feels good. Potential feels safe. But potential means nothing until you prove it. If you keep saying one day becomes never, the opportunity you ignore today is the regret you'll carry tomorrow. You keep saying, I'll start when it feels right, but let me tell you, it will never feel right. You will always have doubt. You will always have fear, and you will always have distractions. But champions move despite them. Champions act through uncertainty. Champions stop waiting for the world to give them permission and start giving it to themselves. Success is not built on knowing the path. It's built on walking it, on falling, getting back up, on learning through scars. Every step you take counts. Every small action compounds. And before you know it, you're not the same person anymore. Your mind shifts, energy changes, your habits align, because doing transforms you in ways thinking never can. Some people will spend their whole life saying they could have done it, they should have done it, they knew how to do it, but they never did it. And that's the greatest tragedy of all. To die full of ideas, full of dreams, full of unstarted greatness. Don't let that be you. Stop overthinking. Stop overplanning. Stop waiting for someone to push you. You are the push. You are the force that moves your life forward. The world doesn't care what you know. It cares what you produce, what you build, what you become through effort. No one remembers intentions. They remember impact. You don't inspire people by saying what you'll do. You inspire them by showing what you've done. Stop being a thinker and start being a doer, because thinkers live in possibility. But doers live in reality, and reality changes only through movement. You say you want success, but success demands proof. It demands sweat. It demands consistency. It demands that you stop talking and start walking. You'll never know your potential until you put it to the test. No growth happens in theory. Growth happens in action, in discipline, in practice, in persistence. Your dream will always remain a fantasy until you give it legs, until you give it effort, until you give it everything you've got. So many people keep praying for a miracle while sitting still. Faith without works is dead. Believing alone won't build your future. Acting will. Talking about change won't change you. Doing something about it will. You want to be healthier? Stop reading about fitness and start running. You want to start a business. Stop researching forever and launch something small. You want to change your life. Stop watching others live theirs and live yours. Every excuse you make is time you can't get back. Every delay costs you opportunity. While you're hesitating, someone else is executing. You're planning. Someone else is producing. While you're waiting, someone else is winning. That's the truth. Execution will always outshine intention, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, even if it's scary. The person who moves will always outgrow the person who waits. The one who acts imperfectly will always beat the one who plans perfectly, because life rewards momentum, not hesitation. There's power in doing, because doing builds evidence, evidence builds confidence, and confidence builds belief, and belief fuels greater action. That's how momentum is born, not from magic, but from movement. Stop saying you'll do it someday. Make someday today. Make now the beginning, because every great story starts with someone who finally said enough waiting, enough talking, enough excuses. I'm doing it now. And that's the moment everything changes. You'll never regret starting. You'll only regret waiting, because time doesn't pause for your fear. Time doesn't wait for your courage. It keeps moving, whether you act or not. Question is, when you wake up every morning, ask yourself, am I moving or am I making excuses? Am I living or am I just thinking about it? The truth is, your dreams are not waiting for you. They are waiting on you. They are waiting for you to show up, to put in the effort, to prove you're serious. The universe doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to work. And when you start doing, doors open, energy shifts, people appear, opportunities align, because action has a frequency. It sends a signal that says, I'm ready, I'm serious, I'm here. The more you move, the more the world moves with you. Doing attracts doing. Progress attracts progress. Momentum attracts miracles. That's the law of movement. That's how success multiplies. Most people lose because they don't know what to do, but because they never do what they know. They keep gathering information, but never apply it. Stop being a collector of ideas. Be a creator of outcomes. Your dream is waiting for your execution, not your education. Your power lies in your daily action. What you do when no one's watching, when it's boring, when it's hard, when it's painful. Because that's when champions are made. In moments of motivation, but in moments of discipline, motivation fades. But discipline sustains, and discipline is born from doing, not feeling. So if you want to change your life, stop chasing motivation, chase momentum, get addicted to progress, get addicted to small wins. Every time you take action, you train your brain to trust yourself more. Every time you deliver on your promise to yourself, you build self-respect, and self-respect is the foundation of confidence. People who don't wait to feel confident, act until confidence appears. And that's the secret. Stop letting fear dictate your effort. Fear will always exist, but fear loses power. When you move, you can't think your way out of fear. You can only act your way through it. Every step you take weakens its hold. Every move you make silences its voice. And before you know it, scared you yesterday becomes your normal today. That's what happens when you stop knowing and start doing. Your world expands, your limits break, your strength multiplies. Success isn't about knowing more. It's about doing more with what you already know. You already have enough knowledge to start. You already have enough skill to begin. The missing piece is motion. The missing piece is courage. The missing piece is discipline, because without those, knowledge is powerless. There's no use knowing the road. If you never take the first step, there's no point dreaming of the view. If you never climb, the world is full of people who know how to do it, but only few who actually did it. Be the few, be the rare, be the one who refused to sit on wisdom without action. Your dream deserves execution. It deserves to breathe. It deserves life, but it can't live without your doing. Stop living on potential energy and start living on kinetic energy, because only movement changes things. Movement creates results. Stop saying you'll try. Trying means maybe. Doing means commitment. Don't try to change your life. Do it. Don't try to be consistent. Be consistent. Don't try to believe. Believe. Stop approaching your dreams like a hobby. Treat them like a mission. When it's a mission, you show up no matter what. When it's a mission, you stop negotiating with excuses. When it's a mission, you don't ask how long it will take. You just keep going until it's done. That's the mindset that changes lives. That's the power of doing. People will doubt you. People will question you, but they can't argue with results. Let your work speak. Let your discipline speak. Let your consistency speak. Silence the noise with your progress. Silence the critics with your results. You owe it to yourself to see what happens when you stop knowing and start doing. You stop thinking and start building. When you stop wishing and start working. Because when you finally move, you'll realize that the universe has been waiting for you to take the first step. Once you do, momentum takes over, blessings find you, success follows you, and purpose fuels you. So stop sitting on your greatness. Stop waiting for permission. Stop wasting time thinking about what could be and make it be. Your life won't change by information. It changes by implementation. Your dreams won't grow from thinking. They'll grow from doing. So get up, take that first step, make that call, write that plan, execute that idea, keep moving, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when no one notices, because that's how success is built quietly, daily, consistently, by people who don't just know what to do, but do what they know. That's how you win. That's how you live. That's how you honor your potential, not by talking, not by knowing. By doing. Knowledge means nothing without execution. You can know every strategy, every principle, every path to greatness. But if you never take the first step, all that knowledge sits inside you as untapped power. You can read every book, listen to every motivational talk, take every note, and fill your mind with wisdom. But if you never act on it, it will never serve you. Knowledge becomes alive only when you move, only when you do, only when you apply what you know. The world is filled with people who know what to do. Only a few have the courage to do what they know. That is where transformation begins, not in thinking, not in planning, but in action. You cannot think your way into success. You must work your way into it. You can't dream your way into the life you want. You must create it with discipline, effort, and motion. Every dream requires motion. Every plan requires commitment. Every vision requires execution. Knowledge is only the blueprint, but your actions are the construction. Many people wait for the perfect time to start, waiting for more confidence, waiting for more clarity, waiting until they feel ready. But readiness never comes through waiting. Readiness comes through doing. Every time you take action, you gain experience. Every experience teaches you something new. Every lesson builds strength, and that strength becomes confidence. You can't gain confidence by sitting still. Gain it by moving, even when you're scared, even when you're unsure, even when you don't have everything figured out. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who knew the most, but the ones who acted the most. They didn't always have the best plan, but they had the courage to start. They learned by doing, improved through failure, and succeeded through persistence. There's a dangerous comfort in knowledge. It makes you feel accomplished. It gives the illusion of progress because your mind feels full. But fullness of the mind means nothing if your hands stay empty. You can be educated, you can be informed, but until you act, changes. Your life won't move forward by what you know, it moves by what you do. Success isn't built in theory, it's built in practice. Execution separates the dreamers from the achievers. It separates the ones who talk from the ones who walk. You can tell the world your plans, but if you never take a single action toward them, those words lose all meaning. The world rewards execution, not explanation. Knowledge without action creates regret. Every time you know you should do something but don't, your self-trust, you teach yourself to hesitate. You teach yourself to delay. You train your mind to doubt. And that doubt becomes heavier every time you ignore what you know you should do. You say you'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow becomes next week, next month, next year. Before you know it, you've built a life full of unrealized potential. The ideas that could have changed your life, the opportunities that could have transformed your path, moments that could have built your destiny, all lost because you didn't act. You don't lose because you failed. You lose because you didn't begin. Action is the bridge between potential and achievement. You can dream of a better body, a better career, a better future, but those dreams require sweat. They require sacrifice. They require doing the hard things consistently. You can't wish your way to greatness. You can't pray for results while refusing to take the steps that create them. Faith without work is empty. Hope without action is powerless. Vision without execution is hallucination. The power is always in doing. Every person who has achieved something meaningful had to make the choice to move, even when they didn't feel ready, even when no one believed in them, even when the odds were stacked against them. They used what they knew, applied what they had, and kept going until what they envisioned became real. Every single day, you have a choice to act or to avoid. Every morning, you wake up with a list of things you know you need to do, and the difference between success and stagnation lies in that decision. Do you push yourself forward or do you sit back and wait? Because the truth is nothing changes until you do. You can wish all day, you can talk all night, but your circumstances stay the same until your behavior changes. You cannot think yourself into a new life. You must act yourself into it. Success is not found in your intentions, it's found in your actions. You don't have to have it all figured out to take the first step. You just have to start. Path unfolds only when your feet begin to move. You'll never know how strong you are until you put yourself to the test. You'll never know how far you can go until you begin walking. Never know how great you can become until you try. Knowledge prepares you, but execution reveals you. You learn more in 1 hour of doing than in a week of planning. Small action plants a seed. Every seed you plant compounds over time. The more you act, the more momentum you build, and that momentum becomes unstoppable. But when you wait, hesitation drains your energy. Fear grows louder, doubt gets stronger. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to move. Action is not just movement, it's momentum, and momentum is life. There will be moments when you feel tired, uncertain, or unmotivated, but that's when execution matters most. The discipline to act even without motivation is what separates average from great. Motivation comes and goes, but commitment stays. You can't depend on how you feel. You must depend on what you've decided. Your emotions will tell you to stop. Your purpose must tell you to keep going. Knowledge will whisper what you can do, but execution will prove it. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is filled only by consistent action. That's why knowledge without execution is empty. Because knowing doesn't move you forward, doing does. Every dream demands a price. Every goal requires effort. Every step toward greatness needs persistence. You can't shortcut your way to success. You can't think your way around hard work. You must face it. You must act even when it's uncomfortable. That's how growth happens. In discomfort, in challenge, in motion. You'll stumble, you'll make mistakes, but that's part of progress. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the ingredient of it. Every failure teaches you something that knowledge alone never could. When you act, you evolve. When you apply, you improve. When you do, you grow. So many people say, I know what I need to do. They repeat it for years, convincing themselves that knowing is enough. But knowledge never builds empires. Action does. Knowledge never changes lives. Execution does. The people who transform their world are not the ones with all the answers, but the ones with the courage to move with the few they have. You don't need to know everything to start. You just needed to do the next right thing. Because once you move, clarity comes. Once you act, direction appears. The journey only becomes clear after you begin walking it. When you look back at your life, you won't regret what you didn't know. You'll regret what you didn't do. Remember the chances you didn't take, the opportunities you ignored, the dreams you let fade. Don't let knowledge become your prison. Let it be your power. Use what you know. Move with what you have. Act with what you can. Because success doesn't come to those who know the path. It comes to those who walk it. And no matter how small your step today, it's still a step forward. Knowledge lights the way, but execution walks it. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's not about doing it right every single time. It's about showing up every single day, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one is watching. Discipline means doing what needs to be done long after the excitement has faded. Anyone can start strong, but only the disciplined finish strong. It's easy to be motivated when you feel inspired, but true growth happens when you act even without motivation. Discipline is what carries you through the silence, through the days when results are invisible, through the moments when quitting seems easier. It's what builds character. It's what shapes your habits, and habits are what build your future. Discipline doesn't require talent, it requires choice. It requires you to choose what you want most over what you want now. Every single decision you make either brings you closer to your dream or pulls you further away. The people who change their lives are not always the most gifted. They are the most disciplined. They are the ones who wake up earlier, stay longer, focus deeper, and repeat the process no matter how they feel. Discipline gives you power over yourself. Once you control yourself, you can control your destiny. Without discipline, dreams die in procrastination. Without discipline, goals fade into excuses. Without discipline, potential turns into regret. Every dream sounds exciting until it demands discipline. Every vision looks beautiful until it requires sacrifice. People love to imagine success. Few are willing to do what success demands. Discipline means saying no to distractions, no to comfort, no to laziness, no to instant gratification. It means focusing your energy on what truly matters and being ruthless with your time. You cannot complain about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. Life rewards effort, intentions. It rewards persistence, not promises. The disciplined don't wait for perfect conditions. They create them. They act, they adjust, they keep going. Discipline is the foundation of freedom. Most people think discipline limits them, but the truth is it liberates you. It gives you control over your life. When you are disciplined, you are not a slave to your mood, to your cravings, or to your excuses. You live by choice, not by chance. You build habits that carry you forward automatically. You don't have to force success when you are disciplined. It becomes a natural result of your consistent actions. Discipline creates peace because you know you're doing what needs to be done. You stop doubting, you stop regretting, you stop overthinking. You simply act because action has become who you are. Discipline is doing it when it's not convenient. It's showing up when you don't feel like it. It's keeping your promises to yourself even when no one will know if you break them. The greatest respect you can ever have is self-respect, and that comes from discipline. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. Every time you do the hard thing, your belief strengthens. That belief becomes unstoppable. It's not motivation that changes your life. It's discipline that sustains it. Motivation can start the fire, but discipline keeps it burning when the wind blows. Discipline doesn't shout. Quiet. It's humble. But its results speak louder than any words ever could. There will be days when your mind says stop, your body says rest, your heart says it's too much. Discipline says keep going. Because you know what happens if you stop, you start over. You know what happens if you give up, you regret. And regret weighs more than hard work ever will. Discipline demands short-term discomfort for long-term reward. Every repetition, every early morning, every sacrifice builds a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and unshakable. You can't fake discipline. You either have it or you don't. It shows in your habits, in your results, in your peace. Success is not one big move. It's a series of small disciplined actions repeated daily. It's doing what others won't so you can live how others can't. Discipline doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for persistence. If you fall, get up. If you fail, adjust. If you doubt, still move. Because motion itself creates clarity. Action kills fear. Progress builds belief. Every time you follow through, you build momentum. Every day, you stay consistent. You get closer. Discipline may feel hard today, but it's building the strength that will make tomorrow easier. When you choose discipline, you choose growth. You choose to take control of your story. You choose to step out of the crowd and become who you were meant to be. Discipline transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It turns impossible dreams into inevitable realities. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's not about never missing. It's about never quitting. Discipline doesn't make life easy. It makes you stronger. It's not about comfort. It's about control. It's the silent power behind every success, the invisible force that turns vision into victory, and the quiet strength that turns effort into excellence.